Hey guys, Luke here. Just thought I'd give you a quick update on how I'm going with the maps and navigation section. So without further ado, let's get into it. And one of the first things you'll notice when you jump in here is that it's a very clean, simple and minimal UI. And I've done that on purpose because I find that if I go into an app and there's just clutter everywhere, it's not a good experience, and I want NavBag to be easy to use as well as powerful. So we'll have a quick look at some of the different buttons. Firstly, you can see that it's already located my current position, denoted by the little airplane marker, and I can click on my little track location button up here, and that'll just lock the screen to my location, so that'll follow me around as I'm flying the aircraft. I'll click on my little info window, and that just brings up speed, track, altitude information, all of which you'll be used to seeing already. So let's have a quick search. I'm just going to turn those ones both off, and we're going to go to Brisbane. Oh, by the way, you can type in, when you're searching for a waypoint, you can type in the code, any kind of part of the string you want to look for. So if I just go BBN because I'm lazy, it'll still come up, or I can type in Brisbane, and that'll all come up. And as you can see, we get a little marker for Brisbane there, and when we click on that one, it pops up information about the airport. So I currently don't have the Ursa and DAP stuff implemented. That's what I'm working on at the moment, but there's a couple of issues around making sure that the latest version is always available and checking for the latest version. So that's a bit of extra back-end work that I'm doing, and once that's done, I'll fully implement those two, and I'll show you those a bit later as well. But Direct 2 does work, so let's have a look at that one. If I click on Direct 2, you'll notice that it draws a little route line from my current location to the waypoint that I wanted to go to, and that's fairly similar. I'm sure you've all seen that in the GPS before. You can see in the top that we've now got a notification as well for Direct to Brisbane, and I'll flesh that out with extra information like the ET and stuff a little bit later. Now if I click on my little info button again, you can see that we've got extra information here now about how to get to the current waypoint. And that's one of the other things I've done, is if information isn't relevant to you, I won't display it. So for example, if I now go and cancel the navigation, you can see that it pops away to save a bit more screen space, and you get as much view of the map as you can. Now one of the other things that I've been working on is the route planner. Now this is a very basic implementation that doesn't support custom user waypoints just yet, but it will for the release. But just for demo purposes, we'll chuck in a route here. So let's go from Brisbane to Archerfield to let's go Coolangatta. Brilliant. So when I click on this one, you'll see it's plotted all those points in, and we've also got that extra information now about how to get to our current waypoint. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to flick over to Sim mode. Now I've built in functionality in NavBag so that it can integrate with Flight Sim X and X-Plane 10. So if you want to use Flight Sim, you just do need to download a little extra program to help get the data into NavBag, but X-Plane supports that out of the box. Now conveniently, I'm already sitting at Brisbane Airport in Flight Sim, so I'm just going to unpause Flight Sim. Cool, and I'm going to click on my menu button, and I'm going to flick over to Sim mode. And you can see that it automatically puts my little cursor over there at Brisbane now. I'm going to zoom in, and I'm also going to click on my track button. So you can see that I'm sitting there at the Brisbane Airport on the runway, and also you should be able to see down the bottom left-hand corner that there's a little FSX label that's popped up showing you that you're now in Flight Sim mode, so you can't use this for actual navigation. Okay, so I'm going to take off now. Now unfortunately you can't see my screen in Flight Sim, but I am actually rolling, and you should be able to see the marker on the map in NavBag moving shortly. Now my current waypoint is YBBN. I will fix that shortly, but once I get within 0.03 nautical miles of the waypoint, it'll flick over to Archerfield, which it should do shortly, and it has. Awesome, so we can see that my bearing from my current position to my next waypoint is 198, so I'm just going to spin around in Flight Sim here. Apologies, this is probably fairly boring for you just at the moment, but you'll see what I'm trying to do in a sec. Now with all of this kind of stuff, you can turn off tracking my waypoint. A little bit too far over. Awesome. Come down here a bit. So you can see that with all of the waypoints and all of the information HUDs and everything turned off, you do get a fairly good view of the map. So I'm going to start tracking again. I'll zoom out. I'll turn the info back on. Brilliant. And I can see the airport now in Flight Sim, so I'm just going to track direct to it. And you should see all the numbers align up the top there in NavBag as well, which they are fairly close. Awesome. So as we get within 0.03 nautical miles again, like I said, I'm in an FA18 by the way, so if you're worried about how quick I'm going, that's why. Cool. So as we approach 0.3 nautical miles, you'll see the waypoint flick over to Gold Coast, which it has there, and then we can track onto the Gold Coast. So yeah, all the rest you can probably figure out for yourself. I want to show you a couple of other extra things, so we might we'll just stop the sim mode there. Awesome. Very cool. Okay, so I'm just going to cancel navigation. Yes, I do. Cool, so a couple of the other things that I want to show you. Now, this is also using the Google Map engine, so you can do everything you can do in Google Maps. So that's rotate the view, left and right, pan, zoom, all that kind of fun stuff, and also tilt, which is a cool one. So everything looks a bit 3D. Now, one of the other things that I've been working on is the maps and overlays. So I've got two different kinds. Base maps, which will be things like the satellite and terrain maps and OpenStreetMaps, those kind of things, and overlays, which will be things like charts. So currently this is just all online, but obviously you don't have internet up in the air, so I will be making offline map packs that you can download. So for example, let's go have a look at Rocky. So if we go up to Rockhampton with the terrain map, Gladstone, where am I going? Too high, am I? Rockhampton, nope, there we are. Brilliant. Cool. So you can see that we've got some nice mountains and stuff out there to the east. Now this might be a little bit slow just because my internet here is pretty terrible, but if we turn on overlays Rockhampton, we should see the VTC map for Rockhampton, or the VTC chart for Rockhampton popping up. And again, this is on a Google map, so we can tilt it, rotate it, all that kind of stuff. And if I change the base map to something that doesn't have those little labels and stuff, like the satellite, we can actually just see it on there. So yeah, that's another thing I've been working on. We can zoom out, and again, like I said, my internet's pretty average here, but this will all load a bit quicker once I release it. And also, if you have the offline map packs, obviously this will load instantly, so that'll be good. So that's about all I wanted to show you. If you've got any questions, feel free to post them or email me at support@navbag.com.au. And yeah, hopefully we'll be able to get this out to you soon. Cheers.